Ed Orgeron. And that brought me back to my home state of Louisiana. My older brother insisted on tagging along.
Really, Peyton, I don't need a chaperone on this trip. I can handle it.
No need to thank me, bro. You know I love a good recruiting trip.
Well, look at what we have here. A couple of Louisiana boys who didn't come to LSU.
What's up, Coach?
How y'all doing? Great to see you guys.
Thanks for having us, Coach. I just want to tell you, as Eli's chaperone on this recruiting trip, I want to be up front. I don't think LSU's the right place for him. I think he'll be singing Rocky Top when it's all said and done.
Well, it's quite a belt you got here.
Well,
glad you wore it for this occasion.
It is a special occasion. It's not every day your 40-year-old retired little brother gets recruited.
Well, Peyton, why don't you go show Mike the Tiger that wonderful belt you brought to LSU Tiger Stadium? Eli, I'm going to show you why LSU is the best place for you to come to get your football studies degree.
I can't wait.
Mind filling out a standing recruiting questionnaire?
Sure, Coach. Thanks.
This is my recruiting trip. I'll fill it out. Hobbies. Watching my kids play sports and collecting fine wine.
Probably the first time a recruit's listed booze as a hobby. Nice.
Most influential person in my life. That's an easy one. Dad. 40 time, 4.7. Vertical jump, 38 and a half.
Those are Tebow's combine numbers. It's actually brilliant. Why didn't I think of that?
The first stop on Coach O's recruiting tour was the trophy room, which included an item we Mannings never did get our hands on.
In the football studies, you have to learn this, Eli. If you want to be a great coach, get great players. We had Joe Burrow, won the Heisman Trophy. You want a great player and a great leader for the LSU Tigers.
It looks heavy.
Yeah, I wouldn't know. What else you got, Coach?
Well, you guys know this. If you work your salt as a quarterback, you got to win the Manning Award. And we have 2 of them here.
If you win 10, you get the 11th free, Coach. It's the Manning discount. Why are you running, by the way?
I'm running, rolling out.
That's not accurate.
Out. Why are you wearing a D lineman face mask? Cover your neck?
Taught the dad about that. Cover thinks this award's named after him.
Hey, welcome to LSU Players-Thon, guys. Eli, this is a place you can come relax, shoot some baskets, study your football. What a great place.
Wow, ping pong, Papa Shot, video games. Mom never let us have any of this stuff.
Yeah, at Tennessee, we didn't have all these distractions. Did have a micro fridge filled with Hot Pockets, though. E, why don't you go check out the games? Coach, I'm a little concerned about this. Too much screen time is a problem for Eli.
Rest assured, Peyton, I'll watch out for him just like my brother.
All right, let's just talk third down, red zone, no huddle. I want to hear your philosophies on short yardage. What do you got?
Hold on, I got a surprise for you.
Coach O was slick. He blitzed Peyton with his old strength coach at Tennessee, Tommy Moffitt.
Coach Moffitt.
Long time no see, Peyton.
Been a while.
Smoothies?
Sure.
Brought your favorite flavor, banana and strawberry.
Hold the kale.
Hold the
I
kale.
like it. I tell you what, I don't like purple and gold, but you still know your way around a blender.
Peyton, I never thought I'd get used to these colors, but I did. I think they'd look real good on Eli.
Still not so sure.
Hey, do you have any quarters? I used all mine.
I don't have any quarters. I don't think you... Do you need quarters?
No.
They're free? I'm never leaving this place.
Well, guys, welcome to our brand new locker room, man. State of the art.
This is what $28 million will get you.
You can take your own nap in here.
Wow, you can nap in here? Coach Coughlin used to box my ears when I fell asleep.
We don't have all night, Eli. Don't do it.
You're probably tired after all that Papa Shot. Why don't you try one?
I don't want to wrinkle my jacket.
Trust me, it's fine. If he comes here, Coach, be sure he gets a nap. He's really a pain in the if he doesn't get one.
For the final stop, Coach O brought out his top recruiting trick,
To some crustaceans, right?
a bowl of crawfish on his majestic balcony.
That's where you're going to live. That's where you're going to go to school. This is where you're going to train. And that's where you're going to shine on Saturday night. You know, you may have gotten a letter or two, maybe a phone call or two. We may talk to a guy maybe 15, 20 times a day through some kind of social media contact.
Say hi to Coach O real quick.
Well, how's your mama doing? How's the best wide receiver in the country doing? And then you go come play for LSU, right?
Hopefully, yes, sir.
What you mean, hopefully?
Heard a story about getting Joe Burrow to come here.
I'll tell you what happened. We went to a restaurant, and the restaurant was not serving crawfish that night.
Uh-oh.
So we had to call my friend Boudreaux.
Of course.
Boudreaux had 15 or 20 extra pounds at another restaurant, and we took it through the kitchen, and we played like we served it from that restaurant.
During your recruiting journeys, did you ever go to any of Tom Lemming's VHS parties in his basement?
All the time.
Really?
Tom's a good friend of mine. In fact, he and I were on the blind side together.
In 2005, when he was at Ole Miss, Coach O successfully recruited Michael Orr of Blindside fame. Before that, he recruited Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson to Miami. Did you promise The Rock that if he came to the U that he'd eventually lead in Jumanji?
I did not imagine that he'd become such a national figure.
The Rock has come a long way from his playing days. So has Coach O. For 28 years, he worked as an assistant under some of the biggest names in college football. Jimmy Johnson in Miami and Pete Carroll at USC.
Let me ask you a question. Can you win the game in the first quarter? No. Can you win the game in the second quarter? No.
Can you win the game in the third quarter? No. But can you win the game in the fourth quarter?
3 years after he became the head coach at LSU, Coach O led the Tigers to a national championship in 2019. And it's easy to see why recruits want to play for him.
This is what LSU's made of, tradition. Together, everybody together. Mean, tough, and nasty. Mean, tough, and nasty. LSU Tigers going to war. 1, 2, 3.
True or false, one time you put a live worm in your mouth to get the team fired up.
I will say, senior in college, Northwestern State University. They didn't taste too good. I wouldn't do it again, but it was fun.
Did it really have to be a live worm? If you put a dead worm in there, you think it would have had any different effect?
Had to wiggle. That thing had to wiggle. When I pulled it out, it had to be live and it was wiggling.
Coach, true or false, do you sometimes punch yourself in the face before games?
No question.
Can you still bench press over 300 pounds?
I will not put on my britches unless I can bench press over 300 pounds every day. That's a promise I made myself.
True or false, the night before a game, you shotgun 2 Red Bulls and rip your shirt off?
You know, sometimes I do that.
Question was, would he do it for me? Just how far would Coach O go to recruit a Manning? Are all those yours, Coach?
I go through a lot during the season. I get pretty fired up.
How bad do you want me to come to LSU?
Not bad.
Wow. Are those pre-cut like Hulk Hogan's, or do you actually rip a real shirt like the Incredible Hulk? What I'm trying to decide is, which Hulk are you?
All natural, baby. This ain't Tennessee.
How'd you do that?
Just give it a shot, son. It's all in the wrist.
Let's go to the weight room.
Recruiting sure has changed since I applied to school, and I've learned a lot.
All right, another Kentucky.
Letters just don't cut it anymore. Cigarettes are bad. Cars aren't free.
All right.
And Coach O is the kind of guy who would give you the shirt off his back.
Eli, before you go, you sure you don't want to give it another shot?
What's that? There's one thing I've learned on this recruiting trip, Coach, is that you know how to close. Let's do it. All right, let's take a selfie. Sun's out, guns out on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Sun's out, guns out. Teamwork, baby.